Welcome to the Third Avenue Wellness Podcast, y'all. And this episode is about grief and how our ability to grieve is a gift, even though it feels like a curse most times. I come from a people who were forced to ignore all of their feelings in order to serve a oppressive ruling class. I come from a people who did not have bodily autonomy, emotional autonomy, psychological autonomy, and even spiritual autonomy. So it makes sense why when grief comes up, it comes up again and again and again and again, and it's inconvenient and it's frustrating and it stops your day, that I don't want to do it, that I don't want to sit in it, that I feel like I should be past it, that I feel like the grief should get lighter. But everything that I grieve is a reflection of deep love. It's love continuing on after loss. I was scrolling TikTok, and this one TikToker, and I'm going to put her in the description, she said that avoidance is the generational curse that we must break. And that felt so profound, because it absolutely is a curse. It absolutely is something that has been forced on our people. It absolutely is something that is not natural to our body, and it makes us sick. When she said avoidance is a generational curse, it woke something up in me. It made me realize how profoundly gifted I was to be able to grieve. I mean, to even have extended grief. My ancestors at times could not grieve because they had to go work grueling 12 and 14-hour shifts, if that, on top of being beaten, on top of having, traumatic brain injuries, all of these things on top of family separation. So now when I feel grief, I hold myself differently. I hold myself as the ancestral miracle that I am. I hold myself as the greatest dream. The people who were beaten and had to smile and say thank you. I have to believe that they would be so happy that I get to cry, that I get to mourn my loved ones who we have lost, that I get to mourn the relationship that didn't work out. It can feel like we have to push through grief because it usually comes from a one-time occurrence, or even if it's multiple times, these were singular events that have happened in our past. Could be a year ago, could be a month ago, but we feel the pressure to move past that grief because it happened then and it's not happening now. But the thing that we have to remember about grief is it's not just about mourning a loved one who has passed. It's not just about mourning the boyfriend that you loved with your whole heart. But because of the ways of the world, or because of patriarchy, you name it, it did not work out. And that happened then, right? Grandma passed away years ago, right? The reality is, every time you meet a moment that you have pictured with that person, experiencing with that person, that's when grief can come up. Because grief is not just mourning a person, an event, a life, a death, an opportunity. It's also mourning futures. Grief is mourning futures that you had envisioned. And each time you meet one of those moments in the present, that was the future at the occurrence of those events, it brings it all right back up. And you feel like you haven't made any progress. But I just want you to know that your ability to feel it is a reflection of your progress. Your ability to hold it is a reflection of your progress. You could be grieving the world that you thought we'd be living in right now. Folks who pictured us with a different president and pictured, things not being this incredibly intense and oppressive. There's grief associated with that. There's grief associated with the people that we know will be affected by politics. The people who might lose their very lives because of politics, or might be lose their family, their security, their safety, their bodily autonomy, health care. There's grief associated with that. There is an abundance of things to grieve right now. So it's so important that you have grace for yourself as you move through it the best way you can. It's so important that you recognize avoiding the grief as the curse that it is. Because it can feel like if you feel it, you'll be swallowed by it. But I want you to know that you won't. The tide might throw you from side to side, but your boat will level out until that wave kicks up again. So in this moment, I want you to let yourself grieve. I want you to let yourself lament. I want you to let yourself feel ugly, be angry at God, be angry at the person, be angry at yourself, but just feel it. Because the only way out is through. And you have grace for yourself as you feel it. Because you deserve this moment to feel. You deserve this moment to release pressure, emotional pressure. So I want you to close your eyes and just take a deep breath in, pulling in as much breath as you can, as slow as you can, and let it all go. Let's do that again. Breathing in as slow as you can, as deep as you can, and let it all go. Breathe in as slow as you can, as deep as you can, and let it all go. I want you to make the affirmation that it is okay to grieve. I want you to affirm that it is okay to miss someone. Especially in a world that is as uncertain as the one that we live in right now. I want you to affirm it is okay to mourn futures that I thought were certain in the midst of global uncertainty. Let's repeat that one again. Think about that future that you imagine for yourself with another person or with a family member, the milestones that you thought you would be able to experience with them. But it has been weighing on your heart so heavy that you have not been able to, or that you will not be able to. I want you to affirm that it is okay to grieve the certain futures. Say, affirm that it is okay to grieve the futures that I thought were certainty in the midst of global uncertainty. Affirm grieving is not my weakness. It is a skill that I have developed for emotional release. I want you to affirm grieving is my ancestral right. Grieving is my divine privilege. I want you to affirm God has blessed me to be able to grieve. I want you to affirm that I love so deep that the opportunity to not love how I anticipated I would, it makes me sad, and that's okay. Affirm being able to love deep is a blessing. affirm my deep grief is a reflection of my deep love. Affirm I can grieve because I have loved. I want you to affirm the future might not be what I thought it will be, but it is still worth me moving forward to meet. Affirm the future might not be what I thought it would be, but it is still important for me to move forward and meet. I want you to wrap your arms around yourself. Just say, I deserve to be held in my grief. Say, I deserve to be held in my grief. Say, I deserve to be held. Say, it is okay to miss. I want you to say the thing that you are grieving. Just to say it out loud, so you honor your truth, so you state your truth, so you can hear your truth. After I say I affirm, say I am grieving, and then say whatever you're grieving. It could be your futures, it could be a loved one, it could be a friend, it could be an ex. And if it's not safe to say it out loud, just say it in your head or whisper it if you must. Affirm, I am grieving. Affirm, I am grieving. Mine is, I am grieving the person I thought I would be right now. Say it again. Say, I am grieving. Squeeze yourself a little bit tighter. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Squeeze yourself a little tighter. Take a deep breath in and let it go. You can rock in this moment. You can cry. You can feel whatever you need to feel. But just make space for your emotions to come up. Make space now for you to feel. You deserve this moment to feel. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Good job. You are doing so good, even though grieving is hard, even though grieving is inconvenient. You are doing a good job. Only this moment. So you must let yourself grieve it, because no one else can feel it for you. I want you to open your eyes, look around the room, remember that you're still here. Keep holding yourself. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Let's do it again. Take a deep breath in and let it go. It's okay. It's okay. You feel it as long as you need to, because feeling is the only way you can get it out. You let your love continue to show up. You let your love continue to manifest through your grief. You don't have to feel right. You don't have to feel perfect. You don't have to be over it. You just gotta be, especially in this moment when you're grieving. This is a great moment to wiggle your feet, wiggle your arms, bring yourself back in the room. This is a great moment to end the meditation. If you would not like to hear prayer, but if you would like to pray, stick around. But if you're leaving, thank you for listening so much. Thank you for letting yourself grieve. Thank you for honoring the fact that you're grieving. It's not easy to say that we're grieving when grief is framed as weakness, when sadness is framed as a failure. Oh my God. It wasn't recording. That's all right. God, I thank you for this moment where we got to grieve, where we got to be imperfect, where we got to feel no matter what the moment brought to us, and that we honored our truth. I know you love when we honor our truth, when we show up honestly, when we show up vulnerably. I pray for the griever that is listening to this meditation. I pray that you bring them comfort, even though some things we grieve for the rest of our lives. May you provide a comforter for them. May you provide them with people who will hold them in their grief. May you provide them with people who will not gaslight them in their grief. May you provide them with people who will not rush them through their grief, people who will sit with them in their grief. I thank you for the beauty of this moment. I thank you for the grace of this moment. I thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. I hope y'all could hear me well. I just realized that this microphone was not recording. So I'm going to do whatever I can to lift up the audio of this from the camera, because I really feel that what just happened was beautiful, at least for me. So I got to make sure that this episode is posted as is, even if the sound is not perfect, because I felt God in the room. So I hope y'all did too. So this has been Third Avenue Wellness Podcast. I love you. Just let yourself feel it.